So, for anything like me, bought a boat, bought a tinny, ready to go in the van, but where is the dreaded outboard going to go? It's got fuel, so you don't want it in the car, you don't want to add any extra ball weight, you're struggling for room as it is. So for me, the best option was to chuck it on the rear bar of the van. So yeah, had to make up a couple of little brackets to make it work, to make it optimum for us. I could have just thrown it on there, but wanted to make it the best possible, as well as get it at a nice height so it's not going to rub when we go through any creek crossings or anything like that. So yeah, follow along as I show you the different brackets and stuff I've had to make to get this set up on the back of the rear bar. Alright, so I've been to BCF, I've got a few bits and pieces so to try and make this work. So I obviously had those U-bolts already, which is these here, so I got 2 of them. Grabbed this from BCF, which is called a adjustable stem bracket. So basically the intent of that is to bolt onto the upright of the existing bar and then allow basically something to come out from here, which I've got this bracket, which is a 4-inch flat stem bracket, so that will go onto that other section. I've got this V block that I spoke about earlier, we'll go into that, and then a pin goes through there, which is that one there. So basically that's essentially somewhat what it will look like to support the leg of the motor. So now I've got a bit of a drawing here, so that's the top section. I've cut that, ready to go. I've cut some brackets here, ready to go as well for the U-bolts to hold that section on. So now it's time to bolt that onto the rear bar, and then I can pop the motor on and I can see what measurement I've got to make this other section to. So yeah, but before that I've got to move the spare tyre over a little bit because it's a little bit in the way. Right, so now I've got the spare tyre over there a bit further, gives us a bit more room to play with in here. So now we can fit up the extra 50x50 there to raise it up a little bit and give it a bit more meat to bite on. And then we'll slip it on and see how it looks. So essentially it's on. Just got to figure out how exactly to do that because it's not quite lining up like I thought it would from there, but I might just be able to put the bracket onto the side there and then out and see how that goes. Alright, so I've got this made up with those bits that I had. I'm not really sure if that's how it works, but that's how I've got it at the moment, just so it can kind of be offset. So we'll see how that goes. So it does work, but I prefer it to be over this way towards the spare tyre a bit, just to get away from the lights. As you can see, it's pretty close there. It's just with that kind of in there. So what I might be able to do is basically take that out of there and almost weld that bit onto the end there, and that'll bring it over. So I don't recommend doing this with a singlet on. Alright, got the bracket, it's all welded up, painted up, ready to fit, so we'll pop her on, see what it looks like. Alright, it's all done. It's all mounted on there. So basically, yeah, got this section on here just to raise it up a little bit, U-bolts on there just to clamp that in. A little bit of Teflon on there just to be on a nice surface. I've got a little bit, I've just got to shave down just to put in here as well, just to protect that surface, and we'll be laughing. And then made this bracket up here out of a few bits and pieces from BCF. Basically that then just wedges in there on that V-block, holds that leg in nice and firm, as well as the strap pulling it in. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Hopefully it helps you with what you need to do to mount your motor.